What's that?
응? 이거 그거 아니야?
아니. Why? It's terrible writing.
It's just funny.
Look at the writing. Do you think it is written by Korean people?
하고 있어?
안녕하세요.
It's not bad. It's just the
아.
conversation is very awkward. No one talks like this. No one says.
안녕하세요.
Old people.
안녕하세요.
Boomer. You follow this, you sound like a boomer.
Korean education makes the people boomer.
Yeah.
왜 이렇게 한국 교육이 부자?
난 영어에만 좀 그런 거야.
응?
그러니까 언어 쪽에만 좀 그런 거지 딱히 발음이 나쁘진 않다고 생각하는데
어쩔 수 없잖아.
국어나 영어가 문제지. 어쩔 수 없는 게 아니고 바꿀 수 있는데 안 바꾸는 그게 문제지.
국어는 왜?
국어는 문화하고 쓰고 있잖아.
어차피 바뀌어도 우리 쪽은 못 바뀌어.
근데 그럴 수밖에 없지. 그건. 한국 그 학교 안
어차피 우리 너무 늦었어. 고민 중에서.
그래서 나도 안 좋게 바꿔서 아니야 여기까지.
상태에서.
아이고 왜
Okay,
시작해요?
this is badly written.
응?
네. 도움드렸구나.
This sentence is incorrect.
맞아요.
This is not good.
Which part is awkward?
It's just very awkward because they say whether particular drugs are toxic to the liver and whether or not. This is weird, right? This because whether when you say whether particular drugs are toxic to the liver or whether they whatever, you wouldn't say and whether help you determine whether and whether or not. It's just very awkward. I would say this is like a new sentence, or whether some drugs are toxic to the liver or not, and also whether other drugs will work to combat a heart condition. It's just awkward.
너 거야?
보여줘도 돼.
편가 늦게 들었어.
듣기 다 맞았지.
다 맞았어. 아,
듣기 I am 어가
너무 할 거야.
야,
This is
진짜
literally
너무
terrible.
아, 이거 틀렸어. 3번이랑. 갑자기 기억이 안 나는데 3번이 먹은 중에.
그냥 이거 하나씩 체크해가면서 해야 돼. 하나씩
근데-
What's the answer?
아, 그래 했는데
I did
놓쳤어.
listening and reading and solving.
Why are the answers in Korean?
네? that one?
Oh, the answers are in Korean.
아,
뒤로 가면 영어 아닌가?
this is fine. That doesn't correct about this text.
You could find
Wait,
awkward.
being is bad. If you ever use this in writing, don't use this when you're writing.
After this
Being-
or now.
Using being is not good writing, usually.
Terrible writing skills.
No, she's not one of the first 3 students to earn a master's degree. Wait, is she one of the first 3 black students or one of the first 3 students? Because this doesn't seem that no one would have gone to fine arts at the University of Iowa. She was one of the first 3 students? I think they mean black. I think they mean black students.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's error.
Yeah.
문제야. 이거 아니라
이게
봐봐.
문제야.
그러니까 봐봐. 근데
That's
그-
saying it. She's one of the first
나 이거
three to
흑인이잖아.
ever earn a degree.
흑인인데 드리 스튜던트 아니야 쭈이 블랙 스튜던트
블랙이 빠져 일부러 이렇게 내렸겠지.
왜 이렇게 해서 아니 이거
헷갈리게 해놓으려고.
왜냐면 first three means there was nobody else before.
근데
근데
헷갈리게 해놨나요?
근데 블랙 아닐 수도 있.
블랙 맞아 이거 블랙 슬레이브라고 있잖아 슬레이브
아니 그 이
Because
사람이
she's-
블랙은 맞는데 그 세 명이 무조건 다 블랙이라고 확신할 수는 없을 것 같은데.
아 근데 그럼 3명밖에 없어
But if you
박사학위
say
딴
first
사람이?
three, that means
그런가?
there were no
그렇게 말이 안
other
되잖아.
people. There were no
아이오와-
white people or no one
아이오와
else.
대학교가 좀 늦게 생겼나 보지.
학생이 3명밖에 없는데 운영이 돼?
문영보다
Or you would say first three students ever or first three black
그건 상관이
students.
없어 어제 1회 때도 3명 있지 않았을 거 아니야 학생이
Okay.
보라색으로 바꿔놨구나 이거.
맞아.
연보라색 무슨 지원 안 되던데 난 했는데.
나 되는데?
You listen me when it comes to English. Listen to me. I know English. I say it's wrong. It's weird.
그리고 바쁘니까 할 거 없어가지고 이러고 있었어.
이 뭐야?
바쁘니까 할 거 없어서.
나 자전거 사려고 하는데.
어? 뭐? 자전거?
응.
무슨 용도로? 통학으로 아니면 뭐 운동? 통학으로면은 바퀴 얇은 게 예쁘긴 한데 되게 불편해 딱딱하고
그런 거?
바퀴 얇은 거
아,
이은재 거 같은 거 말하는 거잖아.
근데 왜 불편해?
승차감이 그렇게 좋진 않을 거야.
아 진짜?
내가 로드도 타보고 MTV도 타봤는데 지금 내 거 정도도 통학용으로는 괜찮지. 내가 그거 풍물통하고 갈아 끼운 거거든 내 거는.
응.
그런 식으로 타면 괜찮을 것 같긴 한데 근데 너도 작은 거 타야겠다. 난 되게 큰 거 타거든.
It's you?
it's me.
Bright gray.
Very cute.
Those are really tall stairs, though. Is stairs too tall?
Yeah.
어?
I don't think I can reach 2 stairs in this case. I have to.
이게 언제 와?
왔다
엄청 빨리 왔네. 아 기분이 아니라? 비 맞고 왔어?
아니야?
치아 봤어,
Korean people said that hairstyle is bomb hairstyle
폭탄 머리.
As a-
bomb 폭탄
No, it's just because in Korea everyone has the same hair.
네.
But like comparatively, but for me it's like I can't do anything. I just born with it. But then everybody they have salon here. I see people to every girl I see in Gangnam has her hair like done perfectly every day.
오.
It's like blow dry and curled. And I'm like, it must take like 2 hours.
예.
It's like even at 6 a.m., 2 hours to get
Korean
ready.
people need to so much preparing time
Yeah. I don't it's too much. It's too much.
Korean people so important thing about their appearance or their how to look like to the others.
That's why we have so many plastic surgery clinics.
I like metal more than
You like what?
metal.
Metal? You want metal surgery? It's a little bit scary.
Oh.
But he wants to become a robot. You can become a robot with metal surgery.
난 뭐, 나의 아이언맨.
Iron Man.
토니 스타일.
I guess.
Yeah, Marvel movies.
Yeah, I don't really like Marvel. You can judge me. They're all the same. They're all the same to me.
You don't like hero movie like DC or no?
Not really. Because, okay, they're all the same. Like, there's some that I think are okay, but they're just too similar. villain's better.
Villain?
Villain?
Yeah, because hero is annoying.
Like Thanos.
Thanos?
No.
Thanos teeth?
No, because the Marvel villains aren't good. Like, I like good villains. No, like interesting villains.
Venom,
Marvel
Venom.
villains are boring. They're all the same.
I thought the Joker?
Joker is good.
Psychopath.
Joker is at least interesting. More interesting than
재밌는 빌런이고.
more interesting than like.
Gargamel. In Smurf.
Huh?
Do you know Smurf? Smurf movie, the blue
No,
skin.
I don't watch Smurfs.
Ah.
They scare me.
That's scary.
I find Smurfs weird.
Ah.
I was afraid of them as a kid. I
Ah.
thought it was scary.
Because they has blue skin and
No, it's more the shape of their heads.
ah.
손가락 4개 나가게.
Okay. Hello. Okay. So, do you remember what the problem was yesterday that we left off on?
Stairs.
Yes, we have n stairs.
Yeah.
I can take steps of either 1 or 2 stairs, right?
Yeah.
And I want to ask you, how many ways can I climb the stairs and to prove it?
Oh.
So let's start with 1 stair. 1 stair. Okay, n equals 1. Okay. Oh god, not a square root, a stair. Okay. 1 stair, how many ways can I climb it?
One.
1 with 1 step. Alright. N equals 2?
1, 2.
Yeah, so 2 ways, right?
Yeah.
Because you have 1, 1 or 2. And that's 2 ways. N equals 3?
Equal 3, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Yeah.
Alright, and what is that?
3.
2, 1, 2. That's 3.
Alright, N equals.
Don't do that.
어떻게 한 거지?
나 반에서 맨날 이러는데.
Alright, N equals 4.
1, 1, 1, 1. 2, 2. 1, 1, 2.
1, 2, 1, 2.
네?
귀여워.
1, 2, 1.
무슨 소린지 모르겠지.
2, 1, 1.
5 ways.
오.
Alright, N equals 5. Let's start counting them faster.
Ah.
You can count them faster.
1, 1, 1, 1.
Alright, so yeah, 5 ones. Alright, what's the next option? If we put in 1, 2, how many ones do we have?
1, 1, 1, 2.
Yeah, so 1, 2, 3 ones. How many ways can we arrange those?
4.
4.
4. Okay. 1, 2, 3 ones. So that's 4 ways. So you have 1 of these, 4 of these, and then what's the next option?
2, 2, 1.
2 twos,
2 choose
1,
3.
1.
3 choose 2.
Yes, 3 choose 2, which is?
3.
Yeah, so you can arrange that 3 ways, right?
Yeah.
Alright, are there any more?
No.
No, because we can't add a third 2. Plus?
8 ways.
8. Okay.
오.
Alright, let's try n equals 6.
1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Alright, so 6 ones.
Yeah. And 3, 2.
3 twos.
1, 1, 1, 2.
So
that's 5 way.
4 ones.
4, 1 and 1, 2.
1, 2.
So 5 ways. No?
Yep, 5 ways because 5 choose 1.
Yeah.
4 ones, 5, 2.
Yeah.
Alright, and then what's the next one?
1, 1, 2, 2. 2, 1, 2.
2 ones.
2, 1, yeah, 2, 1.
2
2
twos.
twos.
Alright,
Yeah.
so we got 2 of each, 4 items, 4 choose 2.
Yeah.
4 factorial.
6.
Yes, divided by 6. Alright, anything else?
No.
Why not? Because we've already done the case with 3 twos. And we can't add another one. Okay?
Okay.
How many is this?
13.
Certainly.
Alright.
Certainly.
You can't do the TH. Certainly. 13. 13.
13.
Okay. N equals 7.
Ah.
What's our options?
7 ones.
Yeah.
And one more, 1, 2. So there's a 6 way.
5 ones. 1, 2.
Yeah. Yes, 5 way.
What's next?
1, 1, 1 to 2. 5 choose 2. 5 times 4 divided 2, 10.
5 choose 2 is 10. Yes. Alright, what's next?
2, 2, 2, 1.
So 1, 1.
4
3
choose 1.
twos.
4. 4 choose 3. 9. 20 way? And
No, we're missing 1.
2. No?
We are missing 1.
You know the formula?
Yeah. We're missing 1.
Formula.
1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Stop. What are we missing? What are we missing?
2. 1, 1, 1, 1.
Ah, I
No,
see the
6.
problem here. Yes, this is 6 total. Alright, and so how many are there?
21.
Alright.
There's kind of 31.
Alright, so interesting. Let's write down what we have so far. So n, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And what were our numbers? N equals 1?
너의 소리가 이해가 안
3, 5,
되는
8, 13, 21.
Okay, are we seeing any pattern yet?
세 개를 골라야 돼, 그 중에서. For choose 3. 세 개를 골라봤을 때, 2 골라서 1을 골라서 상관없어. 이렇게 아이템이 있을 때는 이렇게 있어서
If we don't see a pattern, we do more.
No.
Let's do one more. Let's do one more. Let's do n equals 8. Okay? Not hard. N equals 8. Alright, tell me what the deal is.
1,
Yunjae.
1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
8 ones.
Yeah.
두 개를 고르는 거죠.
Alright.
And 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2.
6
6
ones.
1,
1, 2.
1, 2.
How many ways?
7 and 6 way. And 7, 7 way.
Yeah.
어떤 게 이건
Alright, 4 ones.
4, 1,
2
2, 2.
twos.
6 choose 2. So 15.
Alright.
이렇게 똑같은 거 같은데.
2 ones.
2, 1, 3, 2. So they 5 choose 10.
이게 있는 것도 알아야 되고 이거 있는 것도 이런 것도 알아야 돼.
And
So
finally,
4, 4. 4, 4, 2.
잘못 봤잖아.
1 way.
이거 어떻게 알아? 100이라면? 그래.
그래.
34 way.
yeah. Alright, we've got one more.
몇 개 있어?
9? Okay.
난 끝?
찾아봐.
그러면
난 찾았어.
근데 너무
Any patterns? Anyone seeing a pattern? You should be seeing a pattern.
I found it.
He got it last time. But he jumped to a conclusion too early. So, you have a hypothesis. What's your hypothesis of what the pattern is? You haven't proven it. You think the pattern is what? Yeah, so write your recurrence.
그래서
Write your recurrence.
1, 3, 6.
No, for n, right? So what is t of n?
N가 5개가 5개. 1이 5개 있고 5개가 무슨
Yeah.
그래서 1이 5개.
No.
2가
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Alright,
애들 칩이야.
that's your hypothesis. Now I want you to prove it.
By induction?
Well, it's going to be induction, but you need to think about how to do the proof. It's very similar to the domino.
이 어떻게 이렇게 이만 있는 게 없잖아.
No.
그치. 이거 구하지 않는 거지.
뭔 소리야?
가스레인지.
아 인덕션 가스인 거.
설명 못하네.
All I can think about.
이거 되게
Okay. Okay, do you have pattern? You recognize pattern?
안 보여요 패턴이.
당신이 저번에 저것도 사용했잖아. 가스레인지.
아 맞아.
나?
너
그건 이미 알고 있었던 거였어.
올림피아드.
이것도 너가 이미 알고 있는 거야.
Keep trying. You've seen this pattern before. Can you see
No.
it?
아니.
올림피아.
No.
You've seen it before. Many times.
Yes.
Many times you've seen it.
I've never seen before that.
When
Yes, you have. You've
yes.
seen this.
when you heard the answer, I know.
너
Yeah,
이거
that's
했어?
why I want you to find
진짜?
it.
난 어제 풀었는데.
저거를?
Yeah, he got it yesterday.
패턴을?
It's-
올림피아드.
Yeah.
그러니까.
You know what it is.
안다고요.
I'm sure you know.
You know what it is.
파스칼이 연관이 있는 거야?
No.
You know what it is. This is the sequence you want to look at.
어피지는.
이건 같아?
아,
이렇게 뭐 할 때.
Okay, but you're gonna have to be a little careful.
이렇게 쓰잖아 이렇게.
Okay,
I
you
know.
know how to do it if you did the domino,
아,
right?
이것만 달라지는
it's
거야,
like
이거 할 때?
strong induction.
Yeah. Why?
이거랑.
Recurrence.
응.
Oh, well, why do you need strong? Why do you need strong?
Because it's not
근데 1이 더 크나요? 아니면 2가 더
we
크나요?
can't know the end,
지가 하는 건
but there is n2.
맞아.
그럼
Yeah, because this one, you need this to
이거
determine.
이게 1이 있잖아.
So you need to assume for n minus 1
이런 거
and
치면 그럼 얘가
for
7이라고
n
쳐야 되는
minus, you
7이야.
need to assume for all of them because you have to use the previous two
7가
to make them
2고
equal.
2가 뭐
Right.
되지? 2가
Because when you try to show n to n plus
7.
1, you need n minus 1,
이거
which means you have to assume n
그래서
minus
이렇게 써야 되는
1
거야?
is true. Because if that's not true, it doesn't work.
응?
Okay?
그때 그랬잖아.
근데 왜 1은 계속 같은데 이건 달라지는
So
거야?
do your proof. It's gonna require a little bit of an argument that's similar to the domino. So I think you can do it yourself.
음.
So the idea is to look at the n steps then, and then say that you add one. What happens when you add one more step? And you can go
n
either one
plus
or
1.
two. Yeah, if you look at n plus 1 steps versus n steps,
이거
you know it's true for n steps.
그럼 2 어쩌고저쩌고 1이 될 거 아니야.
Okay?
그럼 2가 계속 달라지는 게
Pattern?
다른 숫자에 따라서 그럼 1은 같잖아. 이 1을 어쩌고저쩌고 될 때는 이건 같잖아.
사이드.
물어봐봐.
모르겠어요. 팩토리얼을 언제 어떻게 쓰는지.
이거요?
No.
She
You don't
doesn't
understand.
know factorial.
어제 배운 거.
Why is
아.
there's
진이가 설명
three
못해요.
ways to arrange?
응?
Three ways to arrange, right? So when I say this, like 2 1s, 2 2s, I mean like 1 1, 2 2, right? And you arrange. How many ways to arrange? Because it can go any order.
예.
So for example, we have 1 2, 2 1. It's different.
다른 거요?
2 2s, 1 1, 2 1s.
아,
1 1 2 2, 2 2 1 1. How many do we have? Well, we have 4 items. How many ways do you arrange 4 items?
모르겠는데.
The first item, how many options?
아닌가?
We have 4 items.
아,
How many options for the first one?
First bucket.
두 개 곱해가지고 16개네.
응?
아니.
그러니까 4개 중에 한 개를 첫 번째 걸 넣어야
We
돼.
need to pick 1 out of 4.
앞에 들어갈 수 있는 게 두 개잖아.
네.
아, 얘 어떻게 생각하는지 알겠다. She think that one is the same and 2 is same, so
No.
왜 다른데?
아니 그러니까
왜냐면
그거를
the
중복
stairs.
근데
I'm taking.
중복되는 걸 나한테 나눠줄 거니까
It's like
그러니까
감이 감도 안 잡힌다.
okay. We have 4 stairs. I can take steps of size 1 or steps of size 2. So step of size 1 is I go to here. Step of size 2, I go to here. I go up 2. I want to combine to reach the 4th one.
한 개씩.
그러니까 한 칸 하는 건 2칸 가는 거랑 다 그러니까 한 칸 2칸 가는 건 2칸 한 칸 하는 거 다른
So in this
경우라고.
case, I could take 2. I could take 2, 2. I could take 4 ones. 1, 1,
바로 넣어볼까?
1, 1. Or I can take 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1. Okay? So, if I'm doing 1, 1, 2, how many ways can I arrange? Because every time, if I can do 1, 1, 2, I can do 2, 1, 1, or I can do 1, 2, 1. Okay? Because 1 and then 2, I go 1, then I go 2, and I go 1. So what I'm saying is this sums to 4, right? 1 plus 1 plus 2 equals 4. So any combination of these is okay, right? So I can do 1, 1, 2, I can do 1, 2, 1, or I can do 2, 1, 1. Right? And so what I'm saying here is that, let's say that we have the 6th case, right? Where it adds to 6. 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. I'm saying we have 2 1s, right? There's 2 of them. And 2 2s. Okay. Now, any order is okay. How many orders are there? Right? So now I want to put these in the boxes. How many options for the first one? 4. Yeah. For the second?
하는 게 사람이잖아.
3개?
Yeah, because I cross one off, it goes in here.
아.
3 left. 2. 1. Alright, but then there's a problem. Because these 2 are the same, right? So I counted 1, 1, 2, 2 multiple times, right? So I have 4 factorial. 1 times 2 times 3 times 4. But I have to divide. And what do I have to divide by? The number of ways I can arrange 2 2s, because I've double counted. And the number of ways I can swap the 2 1s, because I've also double counted the 2 1s. So what do I have down here? Yes.
진짜 저렇게 설명을 해줬어야지.
Which is?
Which is 1.
아 그렇네. 상호각이.
Yeah. So that's what we were doing, to just count faster. I only did that to count faster, so we could get to the pattern faster.
너무 많잖아.
Alright, so now we look at the pattern. So now so these are the number of ways that you can climb the stairs with steps of 1 or 2, right? Here's the pattern that we've noticed so far. This is the number of stairs, and this is however many ways I can climb them. Now you've seen this sequence of numbers before many times.
제가 어떻게 알아요? 괜찮아요.
Add before number.
어?
앞에 거 더해서 T가 나오면서
네.
피보나치.
1 더하기 2가 3이고 2 더하기 2가 3이고.
Okay, so we think that
천재네.
they're the Fibonacci numbers, right? So then what do we say? We say Fn equals F n minus 1 plus F n minus 2. Alright, and F, in this case, in our sequence, these 2 you can't sum the before numbers. So you say F1 for the first one, for n equals 1, equals what?
1.
1. And F2?
2.
And then F3 is the sum of F1 plus F2. So from F3 on, you're okay. So this is for n greater than or equal to 3. Alright?
Yes.
Prove it.
어,
Prove it now. Because you
아,
don't know.
증명을 해?
It's a hypothesis. It's a hypothesis. We don't
Induction
know for
hypothesis.
sure.
아, 참.
We don't know for sure.
뭐
더러웠잖니.
how to
Okay. So the key
안 보여.
for this is imagine that you add a stair. Okay?
방금 풀어본 거 있는데.
Imagine that you add a stair and you look at the n case and you say, okay, now I have n plus 1 stairs. Now, based on the n case, you only have one new stair. But the problem is that that opens up two possibilities. So what's one way? You could go up to stair n, and then you take a step with 1. How many ways is that?
when n
Yeah. Right?
yeah.
Yeah. Now what's your other option? You've got a problem. So you can only take steps of 1 or 2. You can take a step of 2 to the last step, or you can take a step of 1 to the last step. Think about the domino problem.
Fill the domino.
It's like that. It's like filling the dominoes, right? Because you have one new stair, right? Now, to get to the top, you take either one step of 1 or one step of 2. Only 2 options.
I think it's like that.
Yeah. That's like the one case, right? The one case, and where's the 2 case? Yeah, it's exactly like that.
feel my hand.
No.
Why? Oh, I didn't play piano yet. It's like that.
베이스 케이스
지능이 떨어졌어, 지능이.
Base case is n equals 3, right?
Yeah.
지능이 떨어졌다고.
I can't prove. Induction step.
Base case is okay. Okay, the induction step is, what do you need to think about?
N plus 1.
Yes. So we add a new stair. Okay, we've added our n plus first. Now, how can we get to this stair? Either we take, from here, we take a step of 1, or from here, we take a step of 2. Do we have any other options?
머리가.
Teacher, in domino there is face off, facing always, and sideways, but we don't have that.
It's the same thing. When it's facing sideways, it takes up 2 squares. When it's facing up, it takes up 1 square.
There is n stairs, but if we add 1, we go n ways, and there is 1. And there is another way to n minus 1 and
Yes.
go to 2.
Yes.
Well, I don't know.
Why? Okay. Yes. Why is that good? Why is that good?
It's like that.
Yes.
여기까지
Right?
모르겠어. 우리는
That's it. That's all you have to do.
더
You have to explain that. That's it.
이만큼 플러스
Right? Because, okay, why can't you do anything else? Why is that the only thing? Why is that the only thing that works?
그래서 여기서 여기까지 올라가는 데는
Because can you take anything other than 1 or 2
여기까지
steps?
올라가는 데는
No,
No, exactly. So what if I were to go here?
we can't take
I can't take a 3
3
step. But what if I were to take, some order of 1 and 2?
그 기존에 있던 거.
Well, I covered that in this case.
yes.
얘가 여기까지
And what if I were to take some order of 2 and 1?
여기서 여기가
It just.
I covered it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've taken every possible way to get here.
이걸 가져.
And I've taken every possible way to get here. And the only thing that's new
하나 두 개.
is either this step or this step.
왜냐면 우리가 그거 했잖아.
Yes.
N은
But I don't know how to write.
하는데 이만 두 개잖아.
Okay, well, do you see? How many ways can I get here?
N 마이너스 1이
N,
N이지.
yeah, N minus 2.
How many ways can I get here?
N 마이너스 1 마이너스 2.
N way.
N 마이너스 1이지.
응.
Alright,
마이너스 1.
now, how many ways can I get here from here?
One way is because we cover this by
One way,
Yeah.
two steps. Right? Alright, because on this one, we do this one first, right? We do this one first. And if you do a 1 here, you're here, we've already counted that.
N 플러스 1
Okay? So then how many from here?
one.
한 번. 아, 두 번.
Alright, so how many ways can we get to our new step?
그 방법을 적어줬잖아.
응.
N에서 N 플러스 1까지 몇 개 먼저 보여줬어. 한 개가 한 칸만.
Yes.
그럼 하나하나 총
And proof.
비교를 거기서 한 칸 올라갔더니
아하.
더해줬더니
아니, 하는 건
And you already know it's true. Since you know it's true for fn and fn plus 1,
이거 알았지?
it's all good.
Yeah.
이거 이제 증명.
That's it.
해줘.
That's all you have to do.
알아야지, 해줘. 해줘야지.
Inductive system.
Alright, any ideas?
없어요.
Alright, come on.
아이디어라는 게
So.
없어, 내 머릿속에.
Let's see. We can only take steps of size 1 or size 2. So what are our two options? The first option is we took a step of size 1 to get to our n plus first step. Then let's go back that one step, because this is familiar. We've assumed that the thing is true for everything until n. Okay? So, we're here. How many ways can we get here? We know that. We've assumed it. How many ways can we get to the nth stair?
Fn 마이너스 1 플러스 Fn 마이너스 2.
Well, fn, right?
저기까지 올라가는 게?
It's just fn. We know it's fn, and we know that fn is fn minus 1. So, Alright. So that covers the case when we took a step of 1. What's the other option? The only other option is that we took a step of size 2. Right? To get to the last one. We were on this stair, and then we took 2 steps to get to the new stair. It's either 1 or 2. Only 2 options.
yes.
Okay. If we took a step of size 2, how many ways can we get to this stair?
Fn 마이너스 1.
Alright. Cool. Now, let's see. Alright, so we can get to this stair
대단했어. 아,
fn ways.
아.
How many ways can we get to the top from this stair? One. You take a step of 1, right?
플러스 1.
Fn times 1 way. Fn ways to here, 1 way to here.
Why we have to times?
Because it's number of ways, so
Isn't it possible plus 1?
no, because you have to go up 1. So it's not 1 different way, it's the same number of ways. Because when you're doing number of ways, it's times. Because for example, if I were to say, oh, there's so and so number of ways here, and then 2 ways to get here, it would be like times 2. The number of ways here times the number of ways there. Okay? Because when you think about it, it's like for every way to get here, there's 2 ways. So it's like you have 2. So you have 2 ways, plus 2 ways, plus 2 ways, plus 2. Right? And this is f of n times, which would be like 2 f of n. Right?
Yes.
Because for every way to get here, there's only 1 way. So it's you just add 1 up, right? Okay. So times 1 plus, well, okay, we're here, and this one's a little complicated because there's 1 way to go 2 steps, but the problem is that we could go 1 and 1. But the issue is that if we go 1 step, we go here. And we've already been there. We've already counted that. So that's done. Because we've done that in this. So our only option is to go 2 steps up. That's one way, right? So we have f n minus 1 times 1 equals
F1
n proof. That's it. Because you know if it's true for these two, you showed that you've assumed f1 through fn, or I mean f3 through fn are Fibonacci's, right? And then you showed that fn plus 1 equals fn plus fn minus 1.
플러스는 괜찮아.
This is also
플러스는
Fibonacci. Okay? Alright, try writing it up.
너무 어려워.
아니,
머리가 터질 것 같다.
할 수 있어.
할 수 있어요. 답을 아니면.
아니
How to write?
Okay, so, what's your base case? Alright, I'm gonna write it up.
Yes. That's good idea.
Copy what I mean, mine isn't like
Copy?
super. No, I mean, okay, mine isn't super like rigorous. It's not like super good, but it's enough for like if you're taking a lower level course. So, alright, so what's our inductive hypothesis is? Okay? Base case, and you know that f1 equals 1, f2 equals 2. Okay. Base case, f3 equals 3 equals 1, 2 plus 1 equals f2 plus f1. That's okay. Alright, here's the harder part, inductive step.
안 나와.
Huh?
The tango.
I keep trying the markers. They don't, none of them work.
못 열어 저거는.
새거 있는데
단어한테 쳐.
잘 나오면 바꾸려고.
굳이 저걸로
저걸로 또는 또 교수기. 쟤는 나중에 어떡하나.
새거
배고프다. 오늘은 뭐야 배고프다.
Oh, this one is not
너안
terrible.
졸리냐?
어?
안 졸려?
안 졸려. 아까 책 잤거든.
넌 졸려? 넌 졸려?
아니
나 10시에 자야지.
1시에 자고 4시 50분 일어났단 말이야.
나 10시 잤는데. 10시 자고 10시 일어나.
비슷하게 잤다
아, 10시. 어디가 아파서.
Okay. So here's the inductive step. Assume
Yes.
for all n greater than or equal to 3 that fn equals fn minus 1 plus, so it's a strong induction.
TH 대
되죠?
또
네. THAT.
That.
오케이.
That.
I know.
that father is dead.
아, 때리자. 그냥 끝나고 죽이자.
No.
Father is dad.
Dead.
Dad is different than that.
Dead means die.
에, 무시.
Ignore him.
Thy, that, dad.
Dad. He's dad.
Dead is dead.
Be quiet
야, 조용히 해.
No.
하지 마. Okay. Alright. Consider a staircase with n plus 1 stairs. the stair. Okay?
Yes.
So, to reach the n plus first stair, we can either take a step of. Why are you laughing so hard at my handwriting? My handwriting's not even that bad. You should see some of the other kids at MIT.
Korean people is bad writing with
예.
like Korean.
Yeah, I can't read what you guys write in Korean, so.
난 그래도 꽤잘 쓰는데.
너 잘났다.
Size 1,
무슨
Or-
소리죠?
size 2.
했잖아.
You should get practice reading, you know?
Yes. What is size in there?
Size
걸음수? 스텝스?
2, size 2.
Ah.
The size of your step
Okay.
number.
Yes.
Okay. So, if one, so in the case where we take one step, this is from the nth stair. Okay?
Yes.
And then the number of ways to reach the, sorry,
T T
nth stair, nth,
N plus one.
이게 어디서 ST야?
is
아 그건 T.
T
fn. Okay. Cool. And the number of ways to take, and we can take one step. So we have fn here, right?
Yeah.
Alright, take 2 steps. Okay?
Yes.
So this would be like case 1, and this would be case 2. You don't have to put it like that. This is just how we would organize. And alright, so case 2 is we take 2 steps.
이것도요?
We take a step of size 2. Well, one step of size 2. Okay?
Oh.
Alright. And we take that from, step taken from, which stair? N minus first stair. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Got it?
Yeah.
Alright. And the number of ways to get there?
To reach the n minus one step.
Yeah. How many ways?
F of n minus one.
Yeah.
멈췄어. 아니.
By the inductive hypothesis. Alright. Since we can only take steps of size 1 or size 2,
좀 화를 좀 하면 되니까. 온 것이 뭐라 못한 거죠.
then what happens?
We have to only solution then only one way to
There is no possible other way, no other possible way to get to the n plus first step.
그렇게 많이?
Okay?
Yeah.
So, total number of ways to get to step n plus 1 is
One
f
f n plus one
equals
equal f of n
f of n
plus f of n minus one.
뭐 이동 정리하는 거지?
n square.
and that fits the form. So therefore, P of n, which is our inductive hypothesis, implies P of n plus 1, and
So if
base case is true,
true, so it's right proof.
yeah. So P of n is true
True
for all n greater than or equal to 3.
yeah.
Alright, and we would call this inductive hypothesis P of n equals that for n greater than 3, etc. That would be a full proof.
Oh
우리 다 베이직 케이스.
wow.
와 너무 많다.
Congratulations.
You don't have to do this whole proof. This is even not as in depth. If I were to write a paper, it would be more in
다
depth.
썼어.
Whoa.
This is short.
Oh.
Short.
Yeah.
여기 짧은 거라고?
Wow, we have to-
Sometimes people write like a whole 20-page proof of some hard
제 손으로
problem.
쓴다는 데 미칠 것 같겠다.
Either by hand writing
They
or
do.
typing.
Typing, but typing is harder because you have to use LaTeX. It's
Like
software.
by MacBook.
Software to do math.
oh.
It's very annoying.
Oh.
Takes forever.
Huh?
Okay. Any questions? Since we've been doing so well with regular inductions, I want us to go on to something a little bit harder, which is going to be graph induction. Do you all know
Graph
graphs?
induction.
Great.
Graph.
Graph.
So you know graphs, and how are we going to prove things for graphs with n nodes? Induction.
Oh.
But the graph inductions are a little bit trickier.
Oh, I hate tricks.
Just a little bit. There's just a little thing that a lot of people mess up, and it's going to take a while for you guys to understand it, but that's okay because MIT students, when they first learn, they also don't understand. So it's okay.
Oh.
When they're scared,
야,
괜찮아.
너무 과부하거든. 배가 아프다 이제.
It'll be okay.
It's okay. You won't understand right away, but that's okay.
Oh, that one?
This is a graph, remember?
저 근데 9.73 포인트 내는.
It's robot graph.
Alright, let's make a graph like this.
Computer graph.
Yeah, it could be a computer, it could be anything. So we've got some graph, right?
Constellation.
살짝 다른지도. 이제 눈이 이상해.
It looks weird, but it could look like this. It could, it could look like we could have even more connected. It could have another one here. Alright. V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6, V7. So how many vertices do we have?
7.
Yeah. Alright, what's the degree of this graph?
Degree.
The maximum degree.
아니 이거 뭐.
Human is 36 degrees Celsius.
98.6 degrees Fahrenheit.
in F.
Yeah.
In Korea we use C.
I know. Everyone uses C except America.
Oh, really?
I think. I don't know. Maybe.
We also
England.
use K in science learning.
Yeah. I mean, we use K in
This is
chemistry.
physics or chemistry.
Yeah, we use K in chemistry. Okay. 300K is room temperature.
네?
300K?
Yeah, degrees K.
오.
저기 대륙라고?
영도라고? 300K가? 아 근데 K랑 C랑 애초에 환산법 자체가 달라가지고.
Yeah, okay. So what's the max degree? What's the degree of a vertex?
2. 3.
Yeah, alright, because we got, this one has degree 3, right? Because there's 3 edges that are next to it.
아.
Three edges next.
The degree means edge.
Next number of edges next to it.
And V4 has 3 degree too.
Yeah. And V2.
아.
정.
So adjacent means next to.
Jason.
Adjacent.
아.
Adjacent means next to.
예.
Hi Jason.
아,
Adjacent. Adjacent.
예전에 있는데.
Adjacent.
잘생겼어.
Okay.
아무도.
So remember that we say a graph is K colorable.
K colorful.
K colorable.
아, 색칠하는 건가 보다 또. 칼라.
저거 어떻게 색칠해?
Hold on, I will explain again in a minute.
다 다르지로 최소한 몇 가지로 칠했으니까 좀 구하는 것 같은데.
If we color it with
이게 동이야.
K colors such that
내가 이겼는데.
no 2 vertices
아니, 이건 없어. 이게 뭔 뜻인데?
that share an edge are the same color.
3.
손이 여기서 세 개라고? 이 점에서 세 개라고 손이 봐봐. 손이 그래서
모든 것 중에서 얘는 3개 이렇게 돼 있으니까 가장 큰.
이거 세 개인가?
아 그러네.
지금 말을 못하네.
So no, I'll explain what it means. It's very simple. Very simple when I explain. When I explain, it's very simple. It means, basically it means
아.
this doesn't work. Why? Because they connected and they have the same color. Must be different. That's all this says.
색칠.
That's what it means.
그게 구구절. Oh
Yes.
my god.
So this with red, okay. Okay.
오케이.
Alright. So let's give an example of a graph. Alright.
어?
Hold on. We're gonna talk about some stuff now. Alright. So let's give an example. So
Teacher, what is Snoopy mean in English?
스누피?
Snoopy,
Yeah.
the dog.
같이 멍멍이 이거
No,
계속
no, it
Peanuts,
has meaning. It has meaning.
어? 진짜?
But I don't know.
오,
It's the
살짝
dog.
중이 닮았다.
Peanuts.
오, 맞아, 제
Snoopy.
독재미
Yes,
닮았다.
also Snoopy.
어, 네 독재미 닮았다.
It's
지금
the
너
dog
닮았다.
in Peanuts.
아,
The Peanuts cartoon.
And I know Charlie
네,
Brown.
Charlie Brown, yeah. It's Charlie Brown's dog.
Charlie Brown.
No.
중에 있는 거야.
찰리 브라운이라고 약간
Alright, so we have a graph here. This graph is 3 colorable.
yeah.
Why?
Because you
Ah,
have
the-
3 color marker.
3 colors and none of them share an edge.
Maximum degree 3 because
The degree, yes, the degree is 3. Alright,
yeah.
so I am going to give you a theorem.
Theorem. 저 스페인
더 써야 돼?
The max degree is
여기
K.
쓸 수 있는 방법. 엄마 보면서.
The graph is K plus 1 colorable.
Really?
Well, let's think about it.
글씨 있어.
I think it's key color. No?
Well, hold on. So, now, hold on. I'm going to give you something, and you're going to tell me if it's K colorable. Okay?
We have to ask for Google.
Is this 3 colorable?
No. No.
Why not?
We can 3 degree, but
그거다. SIU 상승이다.
it's impossible to color with 3.
Yeah, because everything is connected to everything else.
Yeah.
야, 너네.
So this one has to be different than both of them.
SIU
This one has to be different than all 3. We need color 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not K.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you can prove K plus 1.
안 보여.
It's my mistake.
아니 SIU 3인치.
아,
저 SIU 3인치.
Now,
Yes, I
why
use
would this be true?
Huh?
Think about why it would be true.
Because it was true.
No, why? Think about it. Think about why you can always color, if the max degree of any node in the graph is some number, why can you always color it with one more color? Think about the node that, how many other nodes is it connected to?
직접적이야 이제.
방금 문제야.
It's connected to K other nodes.
Yeah.
All of those need to be a different color than it.
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes.
이제 파란색이
The number of nodes is 3, and they're all connected. They're only 3.
No.
That the
If
degree
everything-
is 2, so it's a 3 color need to color degree. Degree is
The degree is 2 and you need 3 colors.
So yeah, 3 color.
Yeah,
color.
Yeah.
So,
So the theorem is not saying you need K plus 1 colors. It's saying you can do it with K plus 1 numbers. Now there are cases where you have a node that is degree 3 and you only need 3 colors.
and K plus 1 is at most.
Yeah, you can, it's possible. It is possible to color. Now, here's a case where, you have this one node, and say it's got about 10. This is the case. This graph is too colorable,
Yes.
but the max degree is very high.
7.
Say what? Right?
Yes.
But I'm saying it's possible. It could be less, but this is like the maximum number that you need. It's always possible to do it with this one.
Why is it possible?
Why? I wonder. Okay, let's look at this node of max degree. Here is our node of max degree, right?
Yeah.
VI. Here we are, here's VI. Now, VI is connected to K other vertices.
VI is imaginary number because of I.
Alright, so VI is connected to K other vertices. Now, what's the worst case scenario?
And they connect to each other.
All those others are different colors.
Oh.
So, let's write C 1 equals color 1,
Yeah.
C2 equals color 2, etc. Okay? So what if we could have C1, C2, C3, CK.
Yeah.
Because if all of these ones are different colors,
Yeah.
we would need K colors to color them.
Yeah.
Now, if it's adjacent to everything and they're all different colors, K colors, what happens?
Each has to be another color.
Yeah, which is
K plus 1.
big hint.
I think it's not depend on degree, but it's depend on the how many nodes are there.
And node graph.
And there's n color.
No, it's not about the number of nodes. Because there could be a million other nodes in the graph. It could be like one here, one here, one here, and they're all just blah, blah, blah. You don't know anything. You just know this node has the biggest degree. There could be other ones of degree K. There could be another one of degree K over here. But, what do you know? If this is degree K, what does that mean?
You can color with a K plus 1.
It can't be connected to this one
Yeah.
unless one of the edges of this connects to here. Okay?
Yeah.
And then this would be one of the CK colors. You know, C, I, such that I less than equal to K, right? So this would be one of these C1 through CK, right? If they're connected. If not, it can be the same color. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So we understand the logic here, right? We've got a node. It has degree K. What does that mean? It's connected to K other nodes.
Yeah.
That means our worst case scenario, everything's different, but we can just add the extra color and make it that color. All right. So I want you to start thinking about how to prove this. And so my hint is going to be that
Oh.
I caught it.
잠도 깨야겠다.
Alright, okay. So my hint is going to be that consider n equals the number of nodes, number of vertices in graph. And then you want to prove that if it's true for any vertex graph, of max degree K, then also true for n plus 1 vertex graph. This is where it gets a little tricky
Oh.
because it has to be any arbitrary n vertex graph
Any?
of max degree K. Now I want you to start thinking about how to prove this with induction.
By induction?
Yeah.
I think we did it before.
This exact problem?
Yeah.
I don't remember if we did this. I don't think we did this problem because it's a little hard. It's tricky.
But I don't know. I forgot.
No, I don't think we did this because this is too hard.
I think you do.
I did coloring. I didn't do this one.
We did coloring.
We did coloring, but we didn't do this problem because this is too hard.
Oh.
Because you need to master induction before you do
You have to master.
graph induction. Graph induction is too hard for early just did, yeah, we just did,
아 yes.
we just talked about what coloring was.
로브 커플.
Yes, we did matchings.
아, my first day. This will be I learned that this will be different from low yellow base 2 of them.
Yes,
소개팅.
spaghetti. Yes,
So and the classic team.
yes.
예. 소란계랑 부딪히는.
Alright, we didn't do this yet. We didn't do this yet. I want you guys to start thinking about it. It's okay if you don't know how to answer. Just think. It should take some time.
합리적인 포기.
You need to believe that you can solve it. That's the only way you'll solve it is if you have the motivation to think about it. And it's okay to be wrong. Trying is better than sitting there and not trying.
아이고 재난 문자.
아니 단자 왜 이렇게 많이 와?
재난 문자. 네.
Warning message.
Warning message from the country that COVID-19.
Ah,
Do you know that?
yeah, I get that.
아.
The people who went to 어쩌고 저쩌고 have to take a test for COVID-19.
Went where?
Not week, or restaurant or school or the other place.
Like the warnings?
Because
물어봐 돼.
COVID-19 patient went there and
Where? Sir, yeah. They said where they went, yeah.
and the people who went there
Yeah, have to
also
go
have to
test, yeah.
also have to take
Yeah.
that's terrible.
That thing.
이거도 그냥 해석을 못하는 게 누리야.
Any ideas?
지금 엄청나게 있어.
We'll try to write an inductive hypothesis. What's an inductive hypothesis?
Oh my god.
What's your hypothesis?
Hypothesis is
가설.
hypothesis is if the mass degree is k, the graph is k plus 1 colorable.
Yeah, of an end-node graph.
Yes.
Alright.
머릿속에 있어 보이는데.
So write your inductive hypothesis in your base case. You can do that.
Base case like 2. It can be 2.
Yeah, it can be 1, it can be 2.
It can be 1 is 0.
제일 많을 수 있는 거.
1
It's
color.
one colorable, so it is, you can,
It
I
is.
guess you could do 2.
It
Do
is 0 degrees to each one.
2. Do 2 and it's, yeah, I mean, you could even do 3. It's like, you can color it. So like, for example, if the max degree, so n equals 1, the degree is 0.
Yeah, so it's 1.
Yeah. 1 colorable. Alright, so write that down. I have to go to the bathroom. But write that down when I come back. Inductive hypothesis and base case. Okay?
아니 뭔지 알아야지 하죠.
Ah!
준이야 너 좀 해봐. 내가 배경 쓰게. 쓰기만 하고 끝내.
우리 반에 목요일날 여친 생긴 애가 있거든. 오늘 헤어졌대.
오 미쳤다.
여자애가 찼대. 그래서 걔 지금 되게 짜증나 있어. 그냥 여자애 태도가 되게 못마땅하다고 막.
왜 사귄 거야?
어?
아니 여자가 고백하기 여자가 있다만 해서.
여자애가 고백했는데 자기가 헤어지자고 했대.
미쳤다. 뭐야? 괜찮아.
근데 합리적 의심이 가능한 게 고백한 날이 만우절이거든.
맞아. 나 서울생 생각하면 진짜 짜증난다 진짜.
그래서 막 단톡방에 욕하고 난리 났어.
그런 거 보면 웃기겠다.
그래서 애들이 막 그럴 땐 마효시마를 외쳐봐 이러고.
저한테 물어보려고 문제 갖고 왔는데 먼저 시작돼 있었어.
케이크를 원하는
이거 끝나면 너가 물어봐.
근데 모의고사 갖고 왔는데 그거 너무 오래 걸릴 것 같고.
아니 괜찮아. 물어 그냥.
그거 말고.
학교에서
수업 시간 깎아먹으려고 집하는
어이가 없네.
아니 너 그런 거 물어봐야지. 그래도 모르면.
아니
목사님
물어봐도
모르면
모르겠는데 어떡해.
목사님 모르면 질문하라고 했잖아.
물어봐도 모르겠는데 어떡하냐고.
모르니까 쌤한테 물어보라고. 그러니까.
질문하세요.
아니 그걸 맨날 쓰는데
질문.
아무도 안 봐.
처음에 좋은나무교회 여기 뭔가 뜨는데 무슨 인가 보니까 아니었어.
네, 온라인 수업이 다 학교 안 가는 거 너무 좋다.
내일 올렸네.
우리 내일 가야 돼.
준이야 내일은 이율이란다.
질문하세요. 내가 보냈어.
안 떴는데?
내일은 왜 마지막에 써놨냐 항상.
다음에 첫 번째로 써줄게.
지금
원래
하는 거 아니야, 그
학팁
질문.
학팁이. 안 하면 조집니다.
여기다가 넣어서 이은재 올리.
기만이 요즘 막 뭐 저거 쉬는 기간이라고 그러는데.
왜?
몰라.
아니죠.
왜?
알았으면
왜 쉬어?
들었는데.
왜 쉬어?
아파서는 아닐 것 같아.
너 때문에.
복잡한 뭐가 있겠지.
넌 뭔지 알아?
애들하고 싸워서 그런 거 뭐 별걸 다 알고 있어 얘는.
얘가 기대고 있어 하니.
스토커 같은데?
야. 맞아. 어떻게 알았어?
개인적인 얘기야.
왜?
아니.
개인적인.
지금 뭐 하냐고.
Okay.
Yes.
어머.
Teacher, I have a question. K is number of nodes or degree?
No, K is the max degree.
Korea.
N, number of nodes.
네.
K equals max degree. Node equals vertex.
오마이갓.
Same thing.
K is max
오마이갓.
degree.
모든 단어가 너무 많아. 우이.
Teacher, K is max degree, so there is in there one dot. There is
It means there exists a vertex, at least
0.
one vertex of degree K.
오마이갓. 쓰는 게 점점 많아져.
Teacher, but one vertex has 0 degree.
오늘따라 이론이 좀 많네.
There exists, no, so there exists at least one vertex of degree K. So there exists at least one. In this one, it's okay. In this one, K equals 0, N equals 1.
에이.
There exists one vertex of degree 0.
K equals 0 and it's 1, so it's K plus 1 is 1, so it's 1 colorable.
Yes.
근데 저는 무슨
Alright, so
1
what is our inductive hypothesis?
Inductive hypothesis is
아직 K가 그거잖아.
if there is n vertex graph of max degree
책을
then
잘
degree K, then also the true for n plus 1 vertex graph of the max degree.
K를 아니면 뭐겠지. K를 아니니까 최대. 마지막에.
We can color it
아까 있잖아. X 디그리.
with
이거 디그리만.
K plus
맞잖아.
1.
짜릿짜릿.
Okay,
Yes.
근데 점이 없으면 선도 없는 거 아니야?
base K.
Base case K equal 0 and n is 1.
Well, don't say K equals 0, just say N equals 1. You don't want to, you want to use it general. So you want to use, if N equals 1 by default, right?
Default.
So it's automatically, the degree is 0, because there's only one vertex, right? K must be 0.
Yeah. So don't use K equal 0.
Yeah, it must be 0. It has to be 0. If there's no way it can't be, why? Because it's just one vertex. There's nothing to connect it to.
It's 0.
It can't have a degree, right? K plus 1 equals 1. And it's 1 colorable.
1 colorable.
Base case is good.
Yes.
Alright.
Inductive step. I hate inductive step.
이게 뭐야?
No, you shouldn't. You should love it. It makes it proving so much easier.
I love my mother.
You love your mother?
No.
Yes, all Korean boys love their mother.
I don't have to.
I
don't have to.
Helicopter mom.
K 플러스 1은
I think you, Korean boy, if the mother and the girlfriend are both dying in the water, they save the mother.
Oh.
어머 화면 왜 이래?
American guy, probably saved a girlfriend.
That's so sad.
Teacher,
Yeah.
why K must be 0?
Because of 0, comma.
Can it connect to anything?
아,
No, connect to anything.
0,
Because one vertex.
But K, K is
Oh.
theory.
It has to be
뭘
0.
보세요?
세상에.
It's impossible to be anything but 0.
Inductive stuff.
Alright, so what's the first thing we do? Assume
Assume that
아, 숨쉬기 힘들다 참.
that
if
for an end node graph of max degree
늘 못하는 것들.
what?
degree k, and there is k plus 1 color level.
The color
시간을 더 맞출 거지.
with
With k plus
k plus 1 colors. Alright, so what is this saying? It's saying if we have any graph with n nodes where there exists at least one vertex of degree k, so right, we got this graph, with n nodes, and we have some vertex, vi, at least one. There could be 2, there could be more, right? But we know that there's no vertex with degree more than k. This is connected to k other ones, okay? Cool. Alright, we're saying we can color this with k plus 1 colors. Now, here's where the tricky part about graph induction comes in. Now, what you're probably going to want to do is consider the n graph and then say, well, for the n plus 1 graph, well, why don't we just add an extra node on? Right? Well, what's the logical step, right? Okay. You have a graph of n nodes, right? Max degree k. You want an n plus 1 node graph with max degree k. What do you think you should do? You want to show that if you have a graph with one more node, it's also k plus 1 color. But there's a slight problem.
We have to connect all nodes at least one.
Okay, so what? We look at the n plus 1 case, right? So we look at n plus 1 node graph, right? Max degree k.
제일 싫다지 그래.
Huh?
No.
Alright. How are we going to show that this one is k plus 1 colorful?
n plus 1 node max degree is k.
Yes, and we want to show
Yeah.
that it's k plus 1 colorful.
Yes.
We know that an n node graph of max degree k is k plus 1 colorful. Any n node graph of max degree k.
It's
Alright, so
아이요.
it's very simple once you get it. Alright. Okay, we've got some extra node in it. We have some, okay. Let's do an example. Let's do a graph of, let's say, n equals 7, n plus 1 equals 8, k equals 4. Let's do an example. Okay?
Yeah.
하고 싶대. 관심 받고 싶대잖아.
Here's our n plus 1 node graph.
아니야.
Yes, it has 8. Right?
Yes.
Or does it not? No, it has 7, sorry.
나 들었다고?
My bad.
Oh, huh?
We need to have 8 nodes, right?
My bed is super single.
Huh?
진짜 뭐라는 거니?
I am, what?
I have to go to bed. Super single size.
I can't with this child. This child is too much. Okay. Here's our n plus 1 node graph. What's the max degree?
4.
4. Alright. What do? What happens if I just say, well, you know, okay, let's erase this for now. Let's just say that I want to just say I want an end node graph, right? So what do? I take a vertex and I say, let's get rid of it.
Huh?
I'm just going to take it away. We're putting the vertex over here for now. Okay? Now what am I left with?
With no degree.
Well, the vertex is gone now. So this vertex went away. We just took it out. Remove all the edges connecting it. What are we left with?
N minus 1 node.
No, this was n plus 1.
N node.
End node graph. Did the max degree increase?
No.
No. It can't increase. Why?
It's no matter.
Because we took one out, it can't increase the number of degree of a node. If anything, it could decrease it if we took out the only one of degree k. So the max degree,
It's 4.
still 4.
Why?
Why? Because we just took one out, right? We take a node away. Can the max degree increase?
If we took off the max degree,
It only removes. Right? Okay, okay, let's put this one back. What if we take this guy out? We take it out.
No.
No, it's okay. It's okay, we can do that.
Why?
Why can we do that? Because then we end up with this.
Max degree is 2.
Yeah, but it's less than 4.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
나만 이해 안 가는
The
거야.
max degree, it's the max.
그러니까 이게 내 얘기잖아. 이게 있어도 없어도 상관이 없다 소리.
It can't be more. It can't increase.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
So,
얘가 빠졌고 내는 건 똑같다는 거지. 나만 이해가 잘 가네.
alright. So, our max degree is still 4, right?
Yes.
Can't increase.
No.
No. But what's true about the end node graph with max degree 4? Based on our assumption. Well, we have an end node graph now.
Yeah.
Max degree 4. We know it's 5 colorable.
Yes.
Right?
Next degree is important.
Yeah. It's 5 colorable, for sure. We can color it 5 colors, because we assume that.
I know why.
We assume. We know, because we assume it. Now, what do? We go, and we're going to put this vertex that we removed back in to where it was. Okay, we put it back in, and we make a new edge between, whatever it was connected to before.
Yes.
What's the maximum number of edges this can be adjacent to?
1?
Adjacent edges, less than or equal to k.
Less than, yes.
Less than or equal to 4, because if it was this one, we would have 4.
Yeah.
If it's this one, we have 1, right? Whichever one we remove, it can't have been connected to more than 4, because we said k equals 4, we said the max degree is 4 by definition of the n plus 1 node graph. So what do? We make this a different color than all the ones adjacent to it. Why can we do that?
We can plus the
저기 있는 거
line. We can plus the degree.
Yeah, because the degree, the max degree is 4 of the vertex that we removed. So imagine that we have 4 different things of all different colors. That's the worst case. We make this the 5th color. So it's k plus 1 colorable for the n plus 1 case. You will not understand this yet. It's very tricky. It's very tricky. We're going to do another example.
열지 말자.
We're going to do another example. Don't worry. It's okay.
이게 잘했지. 노래를 듣는다는
Don't worry, be happy.
This is very difficult, okay? MIT students, when they first see this, they're confused. Don't
Oh,
worry.
and I will be crazy.
Sophomores in college, they see this and they're sometimes
Sophomores.
confused.
중이
Second year of college,
Oh yeah.
yes.
So please.
Okay, so let's try a smaller example.
Yeah.
Give me an n.
5. 6.
So we know that this graph with n, an n node graph, max degree, what's our k?
4.
K equals 4 is 5 colorable.
Yes.
Okay. And let's look at an n node 6 graph with
5.
k equals 4. Alright, so here's our n plus 1 node graph. 6 node graph, max degree 4. Alright, here's our 6 nodes. And we want it to be, we gotta have one that's
That's like
degree 4. Alright, let's make it like that. So we've got a max degree 4. Alright, cool. So, what do? We want to know, can we color it with 5 colors?
Yes.
Yes, but. Alright, so we have n plus 1 nodes. What are we going to do? We want an n node graph. Well, let's rip this guy out. We don't like him. We need to get rid of him. Okay?
Yes.
And we get rid of all the edges. And etc. Alright. So this guy went bye-bye. Now, we're left with an n node graph.
Makes degree so that's
Then are equal to.
equal to n plus 1. N plus 1's max degree.
Max degree less than or equal to k equals 4. Right? Because now it's 3 now, but it's still less than 4, so it's okay. So we know that this graph is what? What is this graph?
3 maximum degree.
Well, no. We only know that it's less than or equal to 4 because we don't know which node we took out.
Yes.
We picked one randomly. We could have picked this one and then it would still have a degree of 4. Okay?
Yes.
So we just know that it's less than or equal to 4 and that it's n equals 5. What do we know about that?
It is less than equal to 4.
Well, what do we know about a graph with 5 nodes
Yeah.
with a max degree of 4?
Yes.
What do we know about that? How many colors do we need?
5.
How many? Yeah, so we can definitely color it with 5 colors, right?
Yeah.
Oh, can I drink some water?
Yes. Alright, so what do? Let's color it.
Yeah.
Color the graph. Alright, why don't we try coloring it? I don't have 5 colors. That's do now? I need to show the n plus 1 one. So, I'm going to take my node and I'm going to put it back in. Okay? Because I need to make it n plus 1 now. So, I'm going to put this guy back in. Alright. Now, let's say this is C1, C2, C3, C4, C5. Well, this one is connected to how many others maximum?
4.
Yeah, we know this was degree less than or equal to 4. How many colors do we have?
5.
So what do we do?
Colors.
Yeah. Because imagine the worst case scenario is the node that we took out looked like this. It had degree 4, right?
Yeah.
Now imagine, the worst case is this is C1, C2, C3, C4. But what can we do? C5.
You can color with 5 colors.
There's always the extra color to make it different than everything it's connected to.
Yeah.
Alright. So now, let's go back to the general case for any k and any n, now that we've seen an example. This is the strategy though, okay? This is how you want to approach it. So let's start thinking about how we can do our inductive proof.
Oh no.
So, look, you know it's true for the n graph. The key is that you know you can color the n graph, the n node graph with k plus 1 colors. So you want to look at the n plus 1 node graph. We're inducting on the number of nodes. Okay? So consider an n plus 1 node graph with max degree k is the key.
It's the same. With n nodes.
No, it has another node. Why is it the same? It's not the same because it has more nodes.
But you said the max degree is same.
Yeah, the max degree is the same. But it's not the same graph. It has more nodes. It's different, completely different graph can be. Does this, okay, is this graph the same as this one? No, not the same. Not the same.
Oh no.
You know it's true for the n node graph.
Yeah.
Look at the n plus 1 node graph and see what happens if you make it an n node graph.
N plus 1 max degree.
N plus 1 max degree k. They're both max degree k.
Yes, it is greater than equal to the n nodes maximum degree.
Well, take out a node.
From what?
From, well, you need to go, you look at the n plus 1 node graph with maximum degree k. You want to make it n, because you know that you can color the n node graph with k plus 1 colors. So you make it an n node graph, you color that, then you add it back. Right?
Oh, difficult.
Yes, this is the tricky part about graph induction. So you have to take it out, and then you have to add it back. And the reason why is difficult. You can't take an end node graph and then say, put an extra node on. Why? Why is that bad? Why can't I just take this and then put an extra node? Because it needs to be an arbitrary. It needs to be a random n+1 graph. Any n+1 graph. You take a random one, any n+1 node graph. You convert to n node graph, which you know how to do from the inductive hypothesis. And then you go back to n+1.
I'm dizzy because of that problem.
This is a hard problem. I told you we didn't do this before. This is hard.
I like mom problem better than dad problem.
No, when I did this with ITA, my dad's course, when I did this with like college students, they are also confused, so don't feel bad. It's okay.
Oh my god.
Alright. Start drawing pictures. Start drawing pictures for N and K, okay? I want you to work through the cases
뭔 소리야?
for different N's and K's.
I know.
You're not
We are gonna get this.
we have to draw n nodes.
Yep, alright. I want you to work through an example where N equals 10, N plus 1 equals 11, and K equals 5.
네? 와 이렇게 있고
Draw a graph.
커질 것 같아.
So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to draw graphs that satisfy this. Assume,
다 그려.
yes, assume this N equals 10, K equals 5 is K plus 1
Yeah.
equals 6 colorable. Prove, show, okay, show N plus 1 equals 11, K equals 5 is 6 colorable. Work through it. Draw the graph. Yeah, good work. Max degree 5. Yes, that's good. Alright.
졌다.
아니, 그냥
Just draw. 아니,
It's
머릿속에 있는 들어가 안 돼.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. So you know it's 5 colorable. That's N plus 1. Draw the N plus 1 graph first. You need 11. You need one more node. Yes, 11. Draw? Yes. Okay.
Can I draw this?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You can draw any of the ones as long as it's no more than 5. So yours is good. That's a good graph. Perfect. Now what do? You need to make it 10 nodes. So what do? You take one out. Remove it. Now what does your graph look like?
It's
Like that. And you can 5 color that.
Picture, I draw the pictures.
And then what happens when you put it back in? Can you still 5 color?
yes.
Why?
Yes.
Equal
If
6 color, sorry.
yes, because the max degree is still 5.
Yeah, so even if you took this out, only connected to 5 more, this can be 6 color. This can be different color than everything else that it's connected to, because max degree is still 5. Okay. Try the right argument for that. Yes, you draw a graph.
이거 됐나?
Max degree 5.
여보, 안 보인다.
5.
실수는 자꾸 안 보여?
Yes, okay. So, draw an N.
It's not.
Draw N plus 1. Yeah, you can't draw that. He's so culturally aware.
Huh?
When I see this stuff on the
내
Buddhist
다리가 아파.
temples here, I
내
get
다리가
like,
부러진 것 같아.
it's kind of scary because it literally looks like Nazis.
아,
But like, if people find that in Good thing people don't see that.
I think this just looks like
집에 가고 싶다.
Okay.
it's not.
가장
Please don't.
Okay.
나 알잖아.
Offensive.
이
Some
사람
people they get very offended.
I heard that this is prohibited.
항상 나 어떻게
You can't.
이렇게 했잖아.
뭐
So,
이렇게
and no.
그 따라오지 않아 그러면 계속?
맞아. 이렇게 하면 못 따라가 이렇게.
Because Nazis killed a lot of people in genocide.
And Japanese people
그 학교에서 50분마다 시간 되게
flag
이제
속성
flag of
Yeah, Japanese side with Nazis in
Yes.
World War II.
that one that.
Yeah, you know how Korea feels about this?
Yes, it's terrible.
Yes, that's how we all feel about Nazi.
But Nazi
Yeah.
prohibit, but it's not prohibit to the Europe or.
Yeah, because Japan doesn't acknowledge it.
Ah.
Whereas Germany has actually been very good about acknowledging war crimes, and they teach the history of the horrible things that they did.
But Japanese people twist their
No, they don't teach any history. They know nothing.
어떤 놈이야?
They don't even know like about the war with America. They don't even know that they attacked us.
무슨 이유야?
I think it's
That Hawaii.
Yeah, they don't even know about Pearl Harbor. Because Japanese government is bad.
중국이다 중국.
We delayed one.
중국이다 중국.
You have 11 here?
10.
You need 11.
Ah,
N is 10 and plus 1 is 11. You need,
Ah.
look, you know you can 5 color it. So add 11th one,
Ah,
add
one.
11th one.
That one.
You have something, it can connect to more than one, yeah.
Ah,
Alright,
이렇게.
now, you pick a random node.
that one.
Yeah, pick it out.
Ah.
Yeah.
그냥 빼야 돼 그냥.
And what do you have left?
10 넣으면.
And what do you know
그래도 처음
about
들었어.
There is maximum degree 5,
which means?
which means 6 colorable.
Yes. Now,
Yeah.
왔다가 길은 그대로 가야 되는데 왜
put
이러는데?
this back in.
M plus 1 knowledge, but it's no matter to max degree 5.
Exactly, it can't increase.
Yes.
And if we color, say that we color
Yeah.
this graph with 5 colors,
Mm.
because you can.
봐야지 뭘.
We put this back in. Can we still color the new graph with 5 colors?
No.
I mean 6 colors, sorry. Can we still color the new graph with 6 colors? We put one
Yes.
back in. Yes, why?
Because the maximum degree is
Okay. Yeah, it's 5. So even if we took this one out, which is connected to 5, and we put it back in, even if these are all different colors, C1 through C5, this can be the last color.
Yes.
Proof. And
Proof?
that's it.
Yes, I prove.
Okay, not quite. But it's very close. Okay.
Oh my
컬러가
gosh.
Understand?
I'm
And
dizzy.
you have 11 nodes.
하는데
컬러가 K보다 한 개 더
11.
많아.
5.
맞아.
Let's take one
와
away.
기지개 한 부대 지구 명명하겠다 진짜.
Take one away. Yes. Now you have 10 nodes. Which means
또 이래.
with max degree 5, which means yes. Alright, now what happens? You put this back in.
언제도 뒤로 언제도 뒤로
Yes, because this can only be connected to maximum of 5 others. So it can be the last
진짜 내
color.
꺼지는 느낌.
Even if we take this one out.
찌르는 느낌.
Okay, we take this one out. We have 10 node graph.
내가
Max
똑같이
degree less
말했지.
than or equal to 5. Okay? And then we put it back in. It's only connected to 5 others.
강중으로 강중.
These imagine all different colors. This can be the 6 colors.
중요한 거 아니고.
Really, I didn't understand, but I don't know how to.
Do another
아니 근데
example.
중리가 누나.
Do another example. Okay,
오케이 피니시.
progress.
완벽해요.
Okay, k equals 5. So I don't believe. But
Why?
you understand that is 6 colorable.
Yes, it's still 6.
And then you put this in, it can only connect to 5 others
Yes.
maximum. It can be the 6th color, even if all different. Okay? Alright, let's try another example.
쟤한테 왜 이렇게 길고 우리한테 왜 이렇게 짧지?
Yes, alright.
We're gonna have to do
Wow.
another example because you're not ready to prove it yet.
I think today we not ready to prove.
You can do it!
We have to listen one more time next time.
You will do more examples today. You will get it. This is hard. This is very hard, but you will get it.
여기다 그냥 그리 쟤는 왜 내려갔니?
Why are you guys so sad?
Because you can't serve us.
Yes, you can.
보내주고
Alright. Do this one. New example.
Where is it?
Actually,
7.
you know what? I want to make k really small. I'm going to make it very small. I want to do k equals 3.
And it's 4?
N equals 13 and 14.
What?
살아줄 수 없어 이거. 거미줄인 줄.
So, and there is 3 only?
K가
3, yeah.
Oh.
3라고?
It's possible.
뭐야?
Teacher,
하고
there's so
8개였는데
many.
이상하다.
There's so many.
거짓말이나
disgusting.
해줘.
There's so many doubts.
열심히
Yeah.
했는데.
You can, but it doesn't matter. You can still do it. I'm showing that it still works even if it gets bigger.
징그러워.
연하지 마.
Oh, dirty.
와?
You sound like a girl in a drama. When you
수명을
say
생각해봐야겠지.
she sounds like
Oh my god, no,
Oh.
나 그런 거 아닌데.
I know you're not, but that one thing you said sounded like
어.
you know the
애껴요,
girl
리더.
진짜 옛날 노래 아니야?
when,
노래 아니야,
when
우리
the
정수
boyfriend
아니야?
doesn't do
우리
what
정수
the
기억이
girl
안 나.
wants and she throws a fit.
아, 정색이 아니다.
I see that so much.
4, 5, 6,
나갔다.
7,
His graphs are so weird.
쉬울 것 같은 문제.
나는 처음 들어본 정색.
Gun? It looks like a gun.
못해서 들어도 이렇게 하는데 기억이 안 나. 띵동댕동해.
나 한글로 나요.
Why you guys like this?
이거 왜 뜨르는 거 아니겠지?
Okay.
뭔 어쩌고저쩌고 했는데
Alright. Let's take a
필요
note
없는
out.
거나
Take this
다녀야
note out.
중학교 거랑 똑같은 건 말 확실해.
Yeah, take that one out.
기억이 안 나. 지금 몇 년 동안
You can take
들었는데도.
any of them out. So take it out. What do you have now? You have a 13 node graph. That is.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13.
You
Teacher,
need 14.
this is 14. Oh, this is 14.
Yeah, take this out. Okay, what do you have now?
오, 똑똑해. 오.
Can tell him. Alright, so
Yes.
that's fine. Now,
오,
I
여기
have
맞다.
to draw
아,
one
나
more.
이거
It's
어떻게 되는
13.
it needs to
거야?
be 14. Draw n plus 1. Consider it.
아, 나 천재다.
Yeah,
천재야.
then.
Okay, now you take one out. Take this one out.
This one out?
Yes.
네 개잖아. K가 네
Take
개.
out.
어,
Okay, what do you have
아니
now?
얘기를 해줬어야지.
Nothing not. And nothing
저거 네 개만.
maximum degree. 1.
Yeah, which is less than or equal
수학 안
to 2,
풀릴
right?
거 이제 안 알려줘. 이제 네 시험 안 하는데 나 상관이 없단다.
So, what do you know about this one?
That one?
How many colors can you?
뭘 알려줘. 지금 다 그려놓고
Yeah,
알려주니까.
four colors.
Yeah.
Alright, now now let's put this one back in.
아니 너무
Connected
물어봐야지.
to-
나는 너한테 그냥 알려줘도 물어봤잖아.
Imagine they could be similar colors, they could be different. Imagine they're all different
내가
colors,
미안해.
'cause that's
걸렸고.
what- You make this the fourth color.
지식이 있는 사람만 살아남을 수 있다.
Alright.
이건 떨어지네. 난 그냥 영어 때문에 다시 떨어지네.
Take out, then you know that it works, you can color with four colors.
아 강준이 얼마나
Then you put back in, you connect it to 3, even if you're all different,
진짜 깜짝
you make it the fourth color.
진짜 깜짝 놀랐어.
Okay, except for those. Okay. Did you do it? Alright, is that 14 or 15?
밥그릇이 나한테 와.
14.
그거 설명해 줘.
14. This needs to be 14. We need 14. Okay, we have 14. Max degree 3.
그냥
Yes.
쌤이 너무
Alright.
예를 들더라고.
What do we do? We take one out.
아니, 그
No, I wanna
우리가
take this one out.
앞으로 내가
Let's take this note out.
Yes.
What are we left with? 13 notes are left.
Yes, and next degree is still 3.
Still 3. Okay, what does that mean about this graph?
The color is 4.
Yes, for sure, you can still color with 4. You can color with 4 because it's an end node graph, and we know for n equals 13 that you can color with 4 colors. Alright, let's color the graph.
Color?
Imagine, no, don't actually. Imagine that you've colored it.
Colorful.
Alright, now we put this back in.
이거 엄청 모르는데.
How many do we connect to?
사람들이 많이 좋대. 난 딱 보이네.
You put it back in, now you have n plus 1. This came back.
Is this black, blue, red, green? It's 4
Even
colors.
it's 3 different, well, it's connected to 3, right?
Oh, yes.
Even if they're all different, you make 4th one.
If there is no connect each other, it's blue, black, blue, and red.
It could be, but even if it's red, blue, black, you can use the 4th color green to make this green.
And it is possible to 뭐지?
They could be the same. They can be the same, but the worst case is if they're all different because then you need the 4th color. Alright. And why do you know that this, when you bring this back in, it can't attach to more than 4? It can't attach to 4. Why does it only attach to 3?
Only attached to 3.
Yeah, like only connected to 3 because,
Next degree is 3.
yeah, of the original graph. So, the worst case is it's connected to 3, they're all different colors, and you use the 4th color. That means the n plus 1 graph is 4 colors.
Oh,
Yes.
so n node graph and n plus 1 node is if the two graphs are same the color
Yeah,
and they are same graph.
they are not the same graph. If you take an n plus 1, so you assume, what we're doing is we're assuming that for any n node graph, where the maximum degree is k, that it's k plus 1 color. Then we look at an arbitrary, so any n plus 1 node graph, where the max degree is k, we take a node out. Now we have an n node graph, where the max degree is k. Because it couldn't increase the degree, right? You just took it out, just like what you did. That one is k plus 1 colorable, because we assumed it. Now what do? We put the node back in. We say, okay, let's put it back in. What happens now? That node can only attach to a maximum of k possible other nodes, because the degree of the original graph was k. So, worst case, they're all different colors. But then, what do? We put the k plus first color on the new node, on the one that we put back in. Hence, k plus 1 colorable. That is the rather complicated idea of the proof. Hey, do you have a graph of 14 nodes?
좀몇 개?
계획이 있어.
하나, 셋,
그렇게 쓰지.
좋은
좋은 편도 쓰지. 그냥 못 하는 거 쓰지.
지금은?
이은지.
No, there's no question.
질문하세요.
Yunji encouraged to them to questions, but there's no questions.
보고. 아니 질문이 없대. 질문이 있어.
They understand everything.
This is
Right.
hard. They definitely don't. You don't understand. I know you don't understand. I know they don't understand because there's no way they can understand.
We are dizzy.
It's almost time, but I want them to ask questions.
Yeah.
오늘 클릭했는데.
Yes.
I'm hungry again.
Me too. 오 1분 남았어요. 숨만 쉬고 끝내자.
Questions?
So difficult, so we will look at them.
This is hard.
오
Yes. We will go over it again, and you will get it eventually. It's okay. Graph induction is hard because you have to take it out and then put it back in.
I hate induction.
No, you don't. You will love it. You will love it.
For the rest of my life.
You will love it because you realize eventually.
I know that induction, but not.
안
So
끝났어.
that induction is way worse.
난 스페니시.
Once you learn the math, you know the stuff you do in class. That's like that induction.
5시라는데.
When you do, you have like
미쳤나?
for that inductions, you have like
어서리 질문했다.
What is that?
or you have like
I think it's alien language.
급식표.
Alien language.
아니 3번 왜 이상해? 아니 다음에 이렇게 돼 있거든. 이게 이렇게 되거든. 이게
What
이렇게
is
되거든.
that?
말도 안 되는 목만하죠 소리는.
Oh, I will go crazy.
this kind of induction, that kind of stuff. It's all
I
differential.
think MIT is monster.
몬스터 끝.
This is the fun part.
And you're a monster too.
No, I'm not monster. I'm not monster.
I watched the movie Monster University, Monster. And I found that it was MIT. And there is Michael calls Michael what? Michael and the fair sully.
왜 썰리?
Sully.
It's you.
Oh, finish?
Yeah.
쌤 질문이요. 요거
짜.
짜증나요. is
그거냐?
빨간색
저도 A4
answer
Yeah.